Well, it happened to me. I got something in the tire. I haven't plugged a tire in years. Thought maybe, maybe you would never plugged a tire. First thing to do is find it. Kind of got to locate it where it is in the tire so you know where you're at. See what it is, see what's in the tire. And then you need to be on a nice level surface. There's no level surface in my yard. Everything is a slope. So I'm going to pull it forward against that creosote post. It's on a downhill slide, so it won't be able to go forward because the post will hold it back. Nice and secure. It's not going to roll over that post. It's not much of a downhill, but it is a little slope. Okay, let's look in the back, see what we got, what kind of tools came with the car. Those aren't stains, that's literally light shining through the leaves. And let's see, open up the door at the back. Used to be a spare tire. No spare tire anymore. What the heck? We got a pump, a funnel, and some goo. What the heck? Like, there's no tire, there's no tire bar, there's no jack. My damaged part of the tire is right in the middle of the tread in the center of the tire, so it shouldn't have any effect. So we're going to do a few things. We need some rubber cement, tire plugs, and an inserter. I had a reamer. I also have an inserter, but I wasn't able to buy plugs without getting like 100 plugs. It was really crazy. And I like to use the side cutters to pull out whatever's in the tire. It really grabs really good. It hooks on to the bolt, nail, whatever you have, and there's good leverage to pull it on out of the tire. So this is what's needed. In a situation like this car doesn't have a jack. It didn't come with a jack. It doesn't even come with a four-way. So actually, if you were on the road, you couldn't do this by taking it off the car. You can, though, plug tires while they're still on the car. Now, this is, really just a roadside sort of repair. You'd have to roll the tire in a position so that you could aim, your inserter and the plug into the tire and get to it. But it is something you can do. In this case, my tire still has air in it. Thankfully, the bolt wasn't leaking, so if I'd had plugs last night, I could have pulled into a gas station, got dirty, but I could have fixed my tire. And, in a few minutes drove off and not had to worry about it. I could have got home. And in relatively almost any situation, I could have got home. Now, the car does come with a way to fix it flat, but it is essentially fix a flat, like a chemical fix a flat, and not something that's actually going to fill the void of the tire. So the plug here is going to go inside the tire. That's rubber, like infused with something or other that's sticky. So it's like sticky infused rubber. And it's going to go in the hole and stay in there forever. Just a small portion of it will remain outside, which will cut off with a razor blade. But the rubber's inside it's inside the tire, like the rubber part. Some will be inside where the air is also, but they're talking about filling in the hole where the bolt is. The bolt is now inside the tire. It's always important to read all the instructions that come with it. Always follow the instructions. I would be reading the owner's manual, except that cars nowadays also don't come with printed owner's manuals. It's online. It's important to find out your jack points. If you were going to jack up a car, you can't jack this car up on the road because you don't have a jack that's in the car. Okay, now my tire is kind of turned, so I need to straighten my tire so that when I jack it up, it doesn't cause any sort of like pivot point. This wheel left the dealership with a locking lug nut. It's like a security thing. Thankfully, thieves don't know to look in the glove box to find the key. Oh, there it is in my glove box, the key, where it belongs. Always check there first and then panic. They come off in pretty fast order, just 4 lugs on this little car. It's a really neat car. I did check to see where the jack point was before I did this. Always break the lugs loose before you jack the car up, and then jack up the car and remove the lugs. I always like to put the lug nuts back on the stud so I don't lose them. Okay, so I'm going to prepare my plugs. I've got my inserter out and the new plugs. I'm going to pull one free. I'm going to leave everything on that cardboard where it doesn't get any dirt on it. I don't want anything to keep it from sticking inside that tire. open the glue, get the glue ready to go so I can squirt it on there as soon as I get the plug out. All right, here we go. We'll get my side cutters. Get it under the bolt. Oh yeah, it's coming out now. Happens kind of quick once you get started. Ream it, put the reamer in. Pretty good sized hole. So not much of that. Glue. Glue we're gonna put on the plug. Once they clear that, this one is coming out. I'm going to push it in. You don't want to go all the way, because if you push it in too far, then it's just going to go through the tire. So you want to just push it in. You want to leave some out. I got about a 1/2 inch sticking out, so I know I got about a 1/2 inch in. And then pull your inserter out, and it leaves. The end of the inserter opens up so that the plug can slide out. Now it's up. I forego the razor blade to use my side cutters to trim up the plug, get it all nice and even, if not below the top of the tread. It's okay for some to stick out of the actual repaired location, but you don't want it to be any higher than the tread. You don't want something to grab it and pull it out. After a few hours, it says after 24 hours it's completely set. But after a few hours, you know, it'd be fine to drive on casually. So always check your tire. Mine only had 15 pounds in it, so I'm going to have to add a little bit more. Always check the sidewall of your tire or the door of your car to see what the actual inflated pressure should be. Here's a few more steps, you know. Pop the tire back on, 4 lug nuts. You don't use an impact gun or the 4-way to pull the tire up against flush. No pressure, just let it just ease on there, you know, hand tight. Let the car down, and then use a lug nut wrench or a 4-way to finish tightening it up. Always finish the blade with a torque wrench to get the proper torque set for your wheels.